me true. You can see how many ways I can love you. Let me get the way I can love you. So many ways I can go. I can know your mind. I can love you. So many ways. Show you really turning down the ways.
Hey, good morning, good people. Yeah, let's get to it. So many ways I can love you. I love that song. Very good old memories. I'm not sure why my radio is playing such good jumps. And it's on a Monday, so Monday blues for who? Guys, my love for Kenya is on another level, and today I actually wanted to record this yesterday. But I keep thinking about, tomorrow is officially a public holiday, and I keep thinking about the whole of last week. I couldn't help thinking about what just happened. These elections, what just happened from the whole voting exercise, from the whole nasty, can I say nasty or very sensitive, extremely, what's the word? Extremely very tight campaign season that we've just come out of. And then guess what, the election period was just full of surprises, last minute presidential candidates, and two very significant leaders who are vying for the presidential seat. And guess what, tomorrow we are just about to swear in a new leader who happens to be the president, the newly elected, William Samoei Ruto. And for me, by the way, it's funny because, of course, on Sunday I was at the gathering, and we kept talking about, we at the gathering a lot of times we discuss about, what is your purpose, and what is it about being fruitful, and Genesis 1 generally for those who prescribed to the Christian faith. And a lot of times, I don't know why I kept thinking this week, God kept bringing this idea of, like, when God, I guess this time you can say, for me, in my humble opinion, I can say, when God decides this is going to be the leader, regardless of whatever gymnastics, regardless of whatever strategy people can apply, I seriously can't tell you what, and obviously I have my own, opinion of who I voted for. But it's funny that, people were almost so sure the competitor of the elected leader. I'm sure those guys, they worked hard, and actually my heart goes to every candidate, whether you're an MCA, whether you're a women rep or a MP or a governor, who obviously came out to actually want to be nominated to be a leader. But guess what, guys? I can imagine the people, the leaders are lost during these elections. I know they put in a lot of work, and my heart goes out to them, at least for trying. I'm a leadership elder. I'm very keen on people taking up leadership positions, and that's why one of my favorite books that I've published is obviously Unleash the Leadership Giant in You, because a lot of times we wait for people to take up leadership positions, whereas us ourselves should actually take up leadership positions and fix the issues we see in the societies that are annoying. So anyway, back to, I digress, but it's been, I think God has been reminding me of, can you imagine, everyone was almost so sure that a certain presidential candidate was already winning. Even I remember when, when the High Court, when the Supreme Case appeals were happening, I think for like almost 1.5 weeks, people were anxiously waiting. Kenyans were anxiously waiting, but it was almost like sure. It was almost like the sure bet. And I remember reading an article last week. I actually I'm not a big fan of politics. I stay away from it because I feel like it's negative. Sometimes it's negative energy that I actually have no energy for, no time for. But last week I read an article where actually it was on YouTube, and the writer was talking about how on Sunday, that Sunday before the announcement of the Supreme Court judging, how the opposition was, the opposition, the other leader, they were hugging, him and his lawyers were hugging and almost so sure that, he has won. And this is the point of my today's message. I think a lot of sometimes we are so sure of ourselves. We are overconfident of ourselves. And I know sometimes I could actually fall into that category. Sometimes we could be, as human beings, we can be overconfident. We can be over trusting. Like they said, some trust in chariots and others trust in horses and whatnot. But sometimes as human beings, we can have an opinion of one thing. But guess what? When God has decided otherwise, I think nothing can oppose it. And that reminds me of the story of Moses. In my lifetime, actually, as an adult, I've been very privileged to have gone to one of the most favorite places that I visited a couple years ago, not too long ago. It was Jordan, and I was very, oh my God, I was so honored to see the Red Sea and the Dead Sea and the what. But if you remember and it brought the story of Moses. In fact, we were taken to the place where Jesus was baptized, and it's very historic. I honestly, I digress, but if you ever get a moment to go to Jordan, oh my God, please do, and stay in one of this resort where we stayed at, and I stayed at, and I remember the Dead Sea is right, like they share the compound. The beach front, the so-called beach front of the hotel, is supposed to be the Dead Sea, and then it's surrounded by very many historic places. But if you remember, why I bring this story is because in the Bible, when you remember how Moses was, can I say voted, or God wanted Moses to lead, right? And then, Moses apparently was the shepherd boy, Moses would have been the last person, like the unlikely leader that I think anyone would have even thought about. Remember Moses for like so many years. I am not a historic. I'm not very good with those cramming or remembering the years, but I know for a long time Moses was in the desert, guarding over sheep, not sheeps, sheep, condor, like mbuzi. And for a long time, I think, and at some point, I remember even people thinking Aaron, I think the brother or some of the other very famous leaders would have been the leaders, but remember also Moses had another challenge. Speaking of disability, man, Moses was a stammerer, Moses was one of those that, could not speak eloquently like myself, or other people, Moses was a stammerer. And at some point, I remember, I'm not sure if it's Moses or people would make fun of him, I bet, if it was KOT or the Kenyan style. Moses was even, I think people would say like, wow, I don't even speak correctly. I stammer a lot, man. Why do you want me to be talking to this, very stubborn, people who you want me to lead? And this is the point of these elections. And I don't know, this message keeps keeps popping in my head that, yeah, sometimes we could be very confident and choose a certain leader. Of course, in the Kenyan context, I think the two major presidential, elect or candidates, none of them was nor here nor there. I mean, if you ask me, in my own opinion. But guess what? God had a different opinion of who the leader he wanted to be. In my opinion, humble opinion, everyone has their own opinion. This is just my opinion. All of us were very confident of who we knew the leader would be, the obvious leader, the obvious, very popular, like they say, dynasty, we knew. And first of all, the other leader that lost the election was backed by the president, the outgoing 10-year-old ruling president, His Excellency, the Uhuru Kenyatta. and the whole shebang, you know, the whole big boys, you know. He had already been endorsed, he had been campaigned for. And guess what, guys? I think God had a different idea, you know. And here we go. And for me, by the way, as we swear in the president tomorrow, the new president, Mr. William Ruto, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting space. And for those of us who are in leadership positions, places of influence like myself, I think this is going to be, I hope there's one thing we might not forget during this, as we swear in the new president, that sometimes in our own little mind, in our own wisdom, in our own, you know, mind, we might have a different opinion, but guess what? When God has when God has a different opinion of whether it's leadership or something else, you know, God works in can be very hilarious sometimes, by the way, full of surprises. But guess what? When God chooses a leader, I believe, in my opinion, they might not have been the best. I honestly, with a lot of humility, I'll say, between the two leaders, you know, like the lesser evil, none of the two presidents, I think if you did, you know, a SWOT analysis on the two, honestly, they were very close. You know, none of them, to be honest, in my opinion. At some point, I even thought, will I really go to vote, or will I leave the presidential box empty when I was voting? I had those crazy thoughts. Or do I just choose every other leader but leave the candidate box empty? Yeah, so yeah, awesome. Take care, guys, and God bless. All right, have a good one. Bye. God bless you, and good luck with the, you know, swearing in tomorrow. We are honestly wishing the new president all the best, and we hope, the one thing that I pray, and I know I've written extensively about it, the one thing that I hope this time we shall see with the new leader, the new leaders, all the leaders that we've elected, the one thing that I urge, guys, let it not be about the leaders. Let this time, guys, be about servant leadership. I wrote a whole chapter in my book. I pray that God will use the new leaders. I hope that, unlike the previous government, the outgoing government, we pray that, I pray, my prayer, my command, or my humble request is that the new leaders who are elected will actually serve the Kenyan people. We have the most beautiful country. We have the, let me tell you, not even beautiful. Beautiful is not the word. We have the most, people die to come to Kenya. People queue in embassies. My friends, there are so many of my friends who have asked me, man, can I move to Kenya? Because at the minute I moved back to Kenya, I moved back to my country. I relocated back. I resigned a big job and resigned and came back home. You know, because and one of my mandate God has given me is to talk about Kenya. I love my country to pieces. I also don't understand myself. My father does not understand why. What is it? Like, why would you leave America and actually come home? And a lot of my friends also don't get it. Kenyans don't either get it. Guys, we have the most, we have the most untapped virgin country, if you can talk about it like that, in matters development. Kenya is we are barely scratching the surface. If you look even on the financial sector, like where I'm at, you know, this is when we are even, like, for example, in Kenya, this is when we start talking about derivatives. I was pricing derivatives in Wall Street like 10 plus years ago. In Kenya, we just started the exchange just not too long ago. What I'm trying to say is that, look at even agribusiness, you know, farming. We have so much arable land and cultivated land. And let me tell you guys, we don't have to go, you know, import. We don't have to everyday import, you know, apples and fruits from Israel and South Africa, while us ourselves can actually farm this stuff here. Look at our roads. Just the other day, just now, you know, just not a few months ago, we opened the express highway. But I mean, we have so much potential, guys. So one of the biggest ask, and the only thing I can ask the new leaders, let your leadership style not be about you. Let's bring prosperity. Let's unlock the opportunities for the youth. Let's unlock the opportunities, you know, for the generations, the future generations. Let's innovate. Let's be about servant leadership. Let's be about serving the people. Let's be about a legacy that you can look back and say, yes, I transformed mining industry. I transformed the infrastructure. I unlocked places that are very closed up and have no access roads, including my road, my rough road. My governor, well, you know, my new governor needs to check it out. We want to live in a country. We love our country, and I can tell you guys, as citizens who are leaders of influence in our various sectors, we are here to actually support the leaders who've been elected. So hey, as I enter Nairobi County, because I don't live in Nairobi County, a big shout out to all the new leaders who are elected, including Mr. Dimples himself, you know, the governor who ladies have been salivating over, Mr. and His Excellency Sakaja Johnson. I'm entering Nairobi County, of course, now, going to work. I don't live in Nairobi County, unapologetically, but I love Nairobi County because it's where I spend a lot of my time in. And yes, congratulations to all the elected leaders, and I wish you nothing but the best. You can count on me. And yes, my diaspora people, we've not forgotten about you. We've got you covered, thoroughly covered. Remember, for me, when you talk about me, I cannot finish a sentence, and I cannot finish this video without telling you guys about, especially my diaspora people. This is the best time to start saving. There's never a better time to start saving, investing back home, you know, protecting your investments, of course. And for those and much more, you can DM me directly. And until the next video, guys, adios. God bless you, and good luck with the inauguration tomorrow. Of course, I'll be attending, and I'll be watching it from A to Z, and I can't just wait. I'm so excited about a fresh leadership, a leadership that nobody expected to even happen. Even myself, it was a shocker to see what, like, this is gonna be the new president, you know. So I'm super excited. I love change. I love change. I know I wrote about change is inevitable. I love change, and I think change is always good because, of course, none of us likes change, to be honest. But I'm always excited about change. It's usually the hardest thing because fear obviously creeps in. But there's nothing as exciting as giving people a chance. You know, we talk about God of second chances. There's nothing as exciting as, you know, people being given a chance to prove themselves otherwise. So let's also support the new president. And to the new president, Mr. William Samoei Ruto, we ask you that, please, if there's one thing that you can do for Kenya is to curb this corruption. You know, work with, you know, embrace, you know, try to like, what's the word, paralyze this tribalism demon that is all over Kenya. Also, can you just try to work on the corruption cases here in Kenya, so that at least we can celebrate your legacy as one that actually was able to, you know, reduce an amount of corruption here in Kenya, you know, and so many other things that I want to talk about. You know, empower youths, empower the PWDs who are highly neglected, you know, and embrace innovation. Our youths are very innovative. I'm still young at heart, always a youth, you know, in my heart. And as a global youth mentor, I'm very keen on the youth space because we have a lot, man. Silicon Savannah, Kansas City. I mean, I can go on and on and on. But God bless you. We wish you all the best, and you have our support regardless of who we voted for. All right, adios, guys. Have a good one. Go make it happen. I'm just about to enter my office, and yeah, have a blessed week, man, and happy inauguration tomorrow. All right, cheers. Bye bye.